Hello and welcome to this week's vlog. I decided, in the spirit of my last video, my first proper one ever, that I'm just going to start bringing one out every week, even if I still don't have time to edit. Because action is everything that matters in life. And that is one of the first principles I want to present, because this video is all about turbo charging your life and giving you tips for how to create an impressive flow around yourself, all around you, so that you can both enjoy life and move forward as much as possible all the time. And these are two things that are actually, in my opinion, very interconnected to each other, which is something that a lot of people don't see. You hear a lot of people talking about these in opposition. They say, you can't truly enjoy your life and be in the moment and relax and appreciate the little things if you're always concerned with growth and pushing forward and trying to perform and trying to improve yourself. It's like, no, just accept yourself. And yeah, you see how it's a complicated dilemma, because by developing, you get a lot of experiences of success and you constantly feel better about yourself, which contributes to this side, like enjoying life and enjoying yourself, loving yourself. And then there's the argument, yeah, well, you should always just love yourself and your life independently from how good it is. That's why you shouldn't try to make it better, because you shouldn't have to make it better just to be able to appreciate it. And that's also very true. So for me, the perfect combination for an ideal life is to have both. So you, at every stage that you're at, you love that stage. But that doesn't mean you don't want to move to the next one. And what next means for you, what better means for you, is completely individual. And that is a really important point that I think is becoming more and more popular to realize and to learn to define that for yourself nowadays. Thanks to the internet, thanks to this very woke generation and the huge privileges that we have that previous generations didn't, like new work and security, an impressive economy, one of the most globally peaceful times humanity has ever seen, believe it or not, etc., etc. Yeah, so principles are this incredible thing that I didn't really consciously know about until I read the book by Ray Dalio, which I can really recommend. But they're very similar to values. And I keep talking about values all the time because it's just everything. So what is a value or a principle? Yeah, I don't really want this to be a definition video, but just briefly said, for me, values are things that are really important to you, that are overarching abstract concepts, you know. I have an ex who thought having a clean house is a value, which, you know, you can say maybe order is a value, or control, or home, a feeling of belonging. Those things are the kind of values that I could extract from that. But very material things, like a clean house itself, is not a value. Principles are mechanisms or kind of automations with which you function. Like a principle is kind of like the translation of a value for other people to apply, or for your own self to be able to go through quicker. So for example, the principle I wrote down today was, I'm collecting my principles slowly in a database, always give recognition where it's due. So that bases on a few values of mine, like respect, trust, appreciation, or gratitude is actually what I call it. Human connection, those sort of things that I really care about. And the principle is a mechanism where I say, okay, just in general, anytime that I realize someone deserves recognition and it's not being given, I will automatically do that. It's kind of like making a decision in advance for any time that conditions are present, kind of like writing a computer program. If this and that, then I have decided that I will generally act this way. And that's why principles are so powerful, because they save you one type of energy that is really important, and that's decision-making energy. One of the books I'm rereading recently, Game Changers by Dave Asprey, another fantastic collection, just pure gold, like top life advice, just coming at you, bam, 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 every sentence, every chapter. Starts well, in the early few rules. He presents a few rules. What are they called? Laws for life. Decision and decision fatigue are a really big topic. And it's been scientifically proven that there's a strong correlation to your physical energy, to your mood, and the quality of decisions that you're making. How good they are will go down. Throughout the day, for example, if you're hungry, if you're just generally making too many decisions, or if you're going about them in the wrong way. So optimizing your decisions, even if you're not some high-flying executive or a judge or anyone for whom decisions are critical, just as a normal human being, if you can optimize your decisions, that will immediately transform your quality of life. And the one I really want to focus on for the last 4 minutes is the people around you. I'm here having this amazing experience that I've been kind of talking about in bits and bobs on my different content, and the reason why I value this so much, being here, being able to have this experience as doing an internship, is that this is a place of like-minded people, and that's one huge aspect. Again, going back to values and principles, find people who tick the way you do in terms of morality, lifestyle, personal development, or lack thereof. You can also, as I talked about at the beginning, choose people who are only enjoying life. Maybe that's what you need in this life phase. Also bear in mind, everything is a phase. But in general, no matter which phase you're in, find the people to go with it and feed off each other, support each other, exponentiate everything that you're going through. And if you can find even just one person with whom you can have this mutual ripple effect, that is just invaluable. And then that immediately poses the question, how do you find these people? And curiously, it's the manifesting that people talk about does work in mysterious ways that I'm not going to try to explain again, but is also very relevant to this topic, because the more clearly you know your values, your principles, who you are, what you want, and what life phase you're in and what you need, and also what you're able to give to someone else, the more that this will start showing up, because you'll be communicating this at all levels, unconsciously, body language, what types of words you use, what type of energy you're projecting, whether you're energetic or kind of introspective. All of this just comes across, and therefore it will attract the corresponding people. So it's not like it will automatically just fix everything and it will happen on its own. There are a few dangers, like for example, you could enter codependent cycles because you're presenting one half of something and then you attract the other half, and it becomes really toxic. But it could also be that the half that comes is exactly what you were needing, and that's exactly what you want to get to. So I know for myself that there are some values and principles that are just universally good for me. That's kind of like a contradiction. I'm talking about my personal experience, but what I mean by universal is it doesn't matter what life phase I'm in, which culture I'm living in, whether I'm looking for friends, colleagues, or dating. Just certain things are just my foundational things that I can always go back to. And so figure out what those are for yourself and really live them, be them, and then go out in the world and find people. And I can guarantee that that will already help. What else can I leave you with? Get your energy up. There's lots of ways to do that. Look into biohacking, talk to a doctor, talk to a fitness trainer, nutritionist, whatever you need to do. Because without energy, you can't do any of this. And if you're in a low energy phase, again, you can find the right people for that. Go through it. Don't try to skip over it. Enjoy it. This is your life. This is your present moment. And let me know what you think. I hope that could bring you a little bit further along your journey. And I'll see you in the next one.